Cambridge International School, Dasua, a Vassal education school. I'm Radha, working as PGT Business Studies at Cambridge International School, Dasua. Students, as per discussion with you all, I received some doubts from some students. So today, in this video, I will revise chapter 12, that is consumer protection again, and especially our focus will be on redressal machinery, its role, its constitution, and role of NGO as per your doubts. So let us start with the concept of consumer protection chapter. So students, today we are going to revise Consumer Protection Act 1986. Under this, our learning objective will be you all will be able to revise or recap, or you will be able to understand better the concept and importance of consumer protection. Consumer Protection Act 1986, who is a consumer, and consumer protection, rights and responsibilities of consumers, who can file a complaint and against whom, redressal machinery, remedies available, role of consumer organization and NGO, etc. Consumer. Consumer is a king in a free market economy. Earlier, the approach was caveat emptor, which means let the buyer beware. It means buyer should know what he is going to buy. But now the time has changed. Now the approach has also changed into caveat venditor. It means let the seller beware what is right and what he has to do. So, students, consumer, as per the growing competition and in attempt to increase their sales and market share, manufacturers, service providers started to engage themselves in unscrupulous, exploitative, and unfair trade practices like defective and unsafe products, adulteration, false and misleading advertisement, black marketing, etc. So there is a need to provide protection to consumer against all these unfair trade practices of the sellers. So for this purpose, to provide protection to the consumers, government has established Consumer Protection Act 1986. Consumer Protection Act was made in 1986, which came into force on 1st July 1987. It is applicable in all over India except Jammu and Kashmir. It is applicable on all types of goods and services. It provides the protection to consumers against defective goods, deficient services, means the services from which you are not satisfied and that are not good for you, unfair trade practices, and other forms of their exploitation. This act provides simple, speedy, and inexpensive redressal of consumer grievances. It consists three-tier judicial machinery, that is district forum, state commission, and national commission. Consumer protection. It means protecting the interest of consumers against unfair trade practices of manufacturers such as defective and unsafe product, adulteration, etc. Students' consumer protection. It provides protection of consumers from unfair trade practices. It helps to educate consumers about their rights and responsibilities, getting their grievances redressed. That means they will be able to get justice for or against their exploitation and protect their interest. Now, some examples of unfair or unscrupulous exploitative services or unfair trade practices, that is black marketing, adulteration, hoarding, misleading advertisement, etc. So consumer need protection against all these types of unfair trade practices or exploitation. Importance of consumer protection. We will study from consumer point of view and from business point of view. Importance of consumer protection from consumer point of view. First reason is consumer ignorance. Consumers are ignorant or they don't know about their rights and reliefs available to them. So it become necessary to create an awareness among them or to tell them about their rights and reliefs available to them, as well as redressal agencies are there, those who are working to protect the interest of consumers. In India, level of illiteracy is high. Consumers cannot differentiate between the pure and adulterated products. Therefore, it becomes necessary to educate them about the same so as to achieve consumer awareness. Now, second reason is unorganized consumers. Many consumer organizations are working in India to protect the interest of consumers like Jago Grahak Jago at Panchkula, Consumer Coordination Council Delhi, Common Cause Delhi. Consumer Protection Act 1986 has provided some rights and powers to these consumer organizations so that they can provide protection to the consumers against unfair trade practices. But consumers, they don't know we should be a part of these consumer organizations and we can protect our interest. Third, exploitation of consumers. Many unfair trade practices which are used by manufacturers or sellers like adulteration, false and misleading advertisement, hoarding, black marketing. So consumer need protection against all these kind of unfair trade practices or malpractices of sellers and manufacturers. Now, from business point of view, first reason is long-term interest of business. If business firm wants to run their business successfully for a long time and they want to maximize their profits, they have to satisfy their customer. And by providing good quality products at reasonable price, they can satisfy their customers. And satisfied customer not only repeat the sale but provide positive feedback to others, encourage others to buy the same product. So in this way that business firm they can attract large number of customers. Next is it is a moral duty of business firm to provide good quality of products at reasonable price, and they must avoid any kind of exploitation and unfair trade practices like adulteration, misleading advertisement, black marketing, hoarding, etc. Now, next reason is business uses society's resources. Students, whatever resources business uses, like physical resources, financial resources, and human resources, all resources comes from society. So, it becomes the responsibility of businessman to provide good quality products and services at reasonable price so that all the consumers will be satisfied and they will repeat their sales. Next one, social responsibility. Students, business has to perform some activities for social welfare and they have to fulfill their social responsibility towards many stakeholders, and among them customer it is the most important stakeholder, and business has to provide good quality products at reasonable price at the time when they require. Now, next reason is government intervention. Students, if any business is involved in any exploitative or unfair trade practices, then they invite government to interfere or take action against them. This not only spoil their image and it will reduce their profits. So it becomes necessary to involve in fair trade practices to provide good quality products at reasonable price. Next, public support. Business need the support of banks, government, employees and customers. So the businessman can get best support all these parties only when he does not exploit his customers. Now we will discuss about the rights of a consumer. Rights available to a consumer. First one is right to safety. Right to safety, it says consumer has the right to get protection against the marketing of such goods and services that are harmful for their health or life. Students, especially in case of electrical appliances, which can cause serious injury if they are manufactured with low quality raw material. And so consumer must be educated to buy ISI marked electrical appliances. So right to safety means you have a right to protect yourself against marketing of harmful goods. And next is right to be informed. Right to be informed says consumer has the right to get true and complete information about the quality, quantity, price, contents, date of manufacturing, expiry, etc. So for the goods which he wants to buy. So that he must get all the details from the seller while purchasing the goods. So this is called right to be informed. Now next is right to choose. Consumer has the right or freedom to choose the products of their choice. No one can force you, especially sellers. They cannot force you, yes, this product you should buy or you have to buy. This is your choice. You have freedom to buy the right product, whatever you want, from the variety of products available in the market, whether it is a quality, brand, price, size. So seller cannot force him to purchase a certain product. Next is right to be heard. Students, if customer is not satisfied with any product or any service, in case of dissatisfaction with the good or service, he can file a complaint. And the business firms has an obligation to listen their grievances. And some business firms or reputed business firms have set up their own consumer service center to hear the problems of consumers. In this way, they can create a good image among customers. Next right is right to seek redressal. It means consumer has the right to get relief or remedy from the product or service falls short of his her expectations. That means if you are not satisfied with a product or service, then you have a right to get remedy compensation against that exploitation. The consumer court provides a number of reliefs to the consumers like removal of defect from the goods, removal of deficiency in services, replacement of defective goods with new one, refund of price, discontinuance of unfair trade practices, withdrawal of hazardous goods, issue corrective advertisement, payment of adequate cost to parties, compensation for loss or injury suffered, etc. Next is right of consumer education. Consumer has the right to get knowledge about his rights, responsibilities and reliefs, remedy, compensation available to them in case the product or service is not up to his expectation or he is not satisfied. Government educate the consumers time to time by giving the advertisement on television, radio, newspaper, other like consumer organization, non-government organizations, Jago Grahak Jago, etc. Students, we have studied about rights which are available under Consumer Protection Act 1986. But these are not enough. As a consumer, we have some responsibilities while purchasing goods or services. So some duties are there, some duties of consumer which he has to perform while purchasing any good or availing any service. So first is consumer must exercise his right. Consumer must be aware about his rights available to him. He must use his rights like right to choose, right to be informed, right to seek redressal. So you must know that these rights are available and you must use these rights to get a right interest. Now, next responsibility is consumer must be a cautious consumer. When you are going to buy any product, must read the labels carefully. Whatever information is given on the wrapper must read carefully and follow the given instructions. You must read the name of producer and address, date of manufacturing, date of expiry, net weight, trademark and MRP, etc. Then next is don't compromise with quality. Consumer should not compromise with the quality. He always should purchase quality assurance product. That means standard products you should buy. You should look for ISI mark for electrical goods, FPO on food products, hallmark on jewelry, etc. So make sure you are buying standard goods only. Now next important responsibility is don't forget to take cash memo. Consumer must take the cash memo or bill whenever you are going to purchase the goods. It is a proof of purchase. This is an evidence of purchase. Without sufficient proof, you cannot go to any court and you cannot file a complaint for the relief of defective goods. So make sure when you are going to purchase any good, you need to collect cash memo or bill. Next, don't forget to take guarantee or warranty card. The consumer should take the guarantee or warranty card while purchasing the goods. Now, next responsibility is don't have blind faith on seller and advertisement. Consumer, as a consumer, when you are going to purchase any good, use your intelligence. Must be wise while purchasing the goods and services. You should not be misled by false advertisement or fake advertisements. Always go for buying legal goods and must follow the given instructions. Next is ready to file a complaint. Consumer should not ignore the deception of trader. That means whatever unfair trade practices are used by seller or manufacturer, you should not ignore them and ready to file a complaint even for a small loss. And that you have to see that you can form and or you can be a part of consumer societies, consumer organizations, so that you can take active part in protecting your interest as well as others' interest. Now students, we will study about the terms used in Consumer Protection Act, like who is a consumer, who can file the complaint, within what period the complaint must be filed, under what circumstances complaint can be filed. Who is a consumer? Any person who purchases or hires the goods or services for a consideration. It means for money, which you have been paid or promised, or partly paid and partly promised, or you have used any installment basis payment. Next, who can file the complaint? Any consumer, any registered consumer association, central or state government, one or more consumers on behalf of other consumers, a legal heir or representative of a deceased consumer against the seller, manufacturer or dealer, manufacturer or dealer, when the goods you find that are defective, or when you find the services which you have availed that are deficient, or there is any shortcoming. Next is within what period of time complaint can be filed or must be filed. The complaint must be filed within 3 months of purchase. Students, keep remember this. When you are going to purchase any good, within 3 months of purchasing, you have to file a complaint. If some testing of good is required, then within 5 months. Next is under what circumstances complaints can be filed. If goods which you have purchased are defective, if there is any deficiency in the services which you have availed, or fraudulent practices, unfair trade practices of traders and manufacturers. Now we will study about the redressal agencies or redressal machinery under the Consumer Protection Act 1986. Students, for the redressal of consumer grievances or to provide the justice to the exploited consumer, the Consumer Protection Act has provided three-tier redressal machinery at district level, state level, and national level. Now, one by one, we will study about the district forum, state commission, and national commission. Now, first, redressal machinery at district level, that is known as district forum. Full name of this is District Consumer Dispute Redressal Forum. A complaint can be filed to the district forum when the value of goods and services along with the compensation does not exceed rupees 20 lakh. Means whatever you are going to buy, that it amount should be equal to or up to equal to or less than 20 lakh rupees. District forum are set up in each district. It consists three members, one is president and two other members, one of whom should be a woman. These members are appointed by state government and have the qualification equal to the judge of district court. On receiving the complaint, it informs to the party against whom the complaint is received, and if required, the goods or sample is sent to the laboratory for testing. If seller is in fault, it can give order to provide the relief to aggrieved party. If aggrieved party, that means who is exploited. If aggrieved party or aggrieved consumer is not satisfied with the order of district forum, he can appeal before the state commission within 30 days of passing the order. Students, keep remember, here you have 30 days of passing the order. When we have studied about when you can file a complaint after purchasing the goods, that is 3 months, and 5 months when it will go for laboratory test. But here we are talking about where you can appeal further. So if you are not satisfied with the decision of district forum, then within 30 days of the passing of the order, you can file your complaint. But if you lack this period or if you delay this, then you cannot file a complaint. Now next, redressal machinery at state level, that is called state commission. Full name of this is State Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission. A complaint can be filed to the state commission when the value of goods and services along with the compensation is more than 20 lakh rupees but less than or equal to 1 crore rupees. Now, state commission are set up in each state by state government concerned. It consists three members, one is president and two other members, one of whom should be a woman. Students, one thing I would like to share here, that if examiner is asking that write the constitution of state commission, it means you need to write about how we can set up it and who are the members. So if they are asking about constitution of state commission, then you can say it in each state it will be established by the state government and it consists three members, one is president and two other members, one of whom should be a woman. And like this, for district forum and for national commission, they can ask you. Next, these members are appointed by state government and have the qualification equal to the judge of high court. On receiving the complaint, it informs to the party against whom the complaint is received, and if required, the goods or sample is sent to laboratory for testing. If seller is in fault, it can give order to provide the relief to the aggrieved party or the exploited consumer. If exploited consumer or aggrieved party is not satisfied with the order of state commission, he can appeal before the national commission within 30 days of passing the order. Now next, redressal machinery at national level is National Commission. Full name is National Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission. A complaint can be filed to the National Commission when the value of goods and services along with the compensation is more than rupees 1 crore. National Commission is set up by central government. Students, in district forum and state commission we have studied that is set up by state government, but National Commission it is set up by central government and it consists of total 5 members. One is president and 4 other members, one of whom should be a woman. These members are appointed by central government and have the qualification equal to the judge of Supreme Court. On receiving the complaint, it informs to the party against whom the complaint is received, and if required, the goods or sample is sent to laboratory for testing. If seller is in fault, it can give order to provide the relief to the aggrieved party. If aggrieved party or exploited consumer is not satisfied with the order of National Commission, he can appeal before the Supreme Court within 30 days of passing the order. Now students, here you need to keep remember, when you are going to file complaint in district forum, then you can go further to the state commission only, and within 30 days of passing the order only you can go. And if you have filed the complaint at state commission state level, then within 30 days you can go to national commission. And if you have filed complaint at national level, then you can go to Supreme Court within 30 days of passing the order. Now, our next topic is relief, remedies, or compensation available to a consumer. Students, if the consumer court is satisfied about the genuineness of the complaint, it can issue one or more of the following directions to the opposite party. It means these are the reliefs available to the exploited consumer: to remove the defect in goods or deficiency in services, to replace the defective product with a new one free from any defect, to refund the price paid for the product, to pay a reasonable amount of compensation for any loss or injury suffered by the consumer due to the negligence of the opposite party, to pay adequate cost to the appropriate party, to discontinue the unfair, restrictive trade practice and not to repeat it in the future, not to offer hazardous goods for sale, to withdraw the hazardous goods from sale, to cease manufacture of hazardous services, to pay more than 5% amount of value of the defective goods in the favor of consumer welfare fund. Now our next topic is role of consumer organizations and NGO, non-government organizations. Students, in India, many consumer organizations and non-governmental organizations have been set up for the protection and promotion of consumers' interest. Non-government organizations are non-profit organizations which aim at promoting the welfare of people, and they have their own constitution and they are free from the interference of government. These organizations such as Jago Grahak Jago at Panchkula, Common Cause, Delhi, and they are performing several functions for the protection and promotion of interest of consumer, or we can say they are going to protect us against the unfair trade practices by following these functions. First one, they are going to educate the general public about the rights available to them, reliefs available to them by organizing training programs, seminars, workshop, etc. Next, they are going to publish periodicals to impart knowledge, to provide knowledge about consumer problems going on around us, legal reporting, reliefs available, and other matters of interest. Next, they are carrying out comparative testing of consumer product, and they are sending the product to the laboratories for its testing, and they are going to publish its results also, and they are going to protect the interest of consumer in this way. Next, they are going to encourage the consumer to strongly protest and take an action against unfair trade practices of seller. Means if there is a small loss, even for a small loss, you should raise your voice and take action against that unfair trade practice of seller or manufacturer or dealer. And they are going to provide legal assistance by providing aid, legal advice, legal remedy, etc. They are filing complaint in the consumer courts on behalf of the consumer, and they are taking an initiative in filing case in consumer courts in the interest of general public. After revising all the topics from this chapter, tomorrow we will discuss case studies from chapter 12, that is consumer protection. So don't miss it. Stay home, stay safe, and keep studying.